COVID campers, it's Karen in the craft room, just trying to use up some of my things around the house and spruce them up. I have a friend who is redoing her craft room, so I thought I would make her a few organizing items. She's not into organizing and I absolutely love it. So today we're just going to do a few simple little things. I'm going to use a tin can. I have a bunch of them. I've already prepped some, so show you the final parts on that. And I have different sizes. I have ones from pumpkin and tomatoes, and then the smaller ones from beans. Had some great tortilla soup and chili, so that works out well. I'm also going to dig very deep into the bottom of my recycle bin and get out a very large juice box. And we're going to use the juice box today as well for organizing. So let's start off with our tin can. We're going to start by cutting off the label here. Just going to use my X-Acto and take this off. Now, you can see that some of this sticks on, some of that glue part. If you have a lot of trouble getting that off, and I advise you for any kind of labels, you know when they stick a label right like in the middle of a picture frame or something stupid and you have a hard time getting it off, use your hair dryer or your heat gun, and that helps loosen up the glue, and then you can peel it off no problem. So we're going to get rid of that, and we are going to paint this tin green. Now before I start painting, I'm actually going to take the bottom part off. So the top is already gone. I'm going to take off the bottom with my can opener. So let's do that. There we go. We don't need that part. We just need the can. So now we can go through both sides here. Okay, so I'm going to just use some paint from the dollar store. This one is a Lush Foliage. Quite pretty color. My friend said that she was going to be doing some things with the pinks and the greens and just kind of pastel colors. So we're going to paint the outer side of the can. Now this might need a few coats. That's okay. If you want to take a break between coats, have a nice little snack or a little bevy, that's great. Or you can hurry it along with your heat gun or hair dryer. So some of these organization things can be used for your office. Like I said, my friend, it's for her craft room. Even for some of your kitchen utensils, that kind of thing. These are perfect little upcycling ideas. So we're almost covered here with the green. And we're looking pretty good here. It's easy because you can put your hand right inside the can, hold it like this. So there we go. We got one coat on, so I'm going to give that a quick little dry with my heat gun. Like I said, you can also use a hair dryer. Just be careful that you don't blow everything off your desk or craft table. Metal does get quite hot. So other little organization things that help in my craft room is I have a dresser, an old dresser that I just repainted, and it's great to hold vinyl, extra paints, tablecloths, that kind of thing, and it looks fine. I've upcycled a lot of old furniture. I also have a hutch in my craft room, fantastic storage below, and then I have some cute jars with labels on them on the top, so it looks pretty. Like I said, I just got it out of Salvation Army and did that, so that's fantastic. Also some IKEA things. I do have a really great thing that I use. It's the IKEA roll of paper. I'll show it to you. So this roller here is fantastic. It's from IKEA. I use it all the time. I like to put it at the end of my table, run the paper across and tape it down and work right on paper. If I have some things that might stick to the paper, I'll use a tablecloth. This is also great to hold your vinyl. When you have rolls of vinyl, I like to use the shelf paper from a dollar store, and that works fantastic. Just cut off what you need. So we got our second coat on. Let's give it a quick little dry here. Looking good, we're getting there. All right. Another organizational tool I wanted to tell you about too was the cubed, their cube storage units. I have one here that I've put together, and I keep some paints in it. This works fantastic, as you can see. I just used 2 of the cubes, and I used some pipe there and just zip tied it on, but it holds your paints fantastic. Another way to use that same cube is I have this handy dandy cart that you can get in most places. This is a 3-tier cart, as you can see, and I've used the cube inside my tray. So I've just cut it a little bit, I think I cut 2 rows off of it just to fit in there, and to just elevate it just a little bit, I taped on some blocks from the tumbling tower game from Dollar Tree. So just like a little, these are nice little cubes of wood, and it just helped to elevate my tray there. So that's fantastic. It's a great organizational tool. I know these carts, you can get them, I believe I got mine at Michael's, but I've seen them at Canadian Tire and other stores, probably also online. Fantastic. I love being able to just roll it around and use it where I need it. So we've got our outside painted green. We've also got, I'm just going to use a piece of scrap paper. It's got the green in it with a little bit of blue. And when I had first done this, I thought I would Mod Podge this one, but it didn't quite go the way I wanted. So I'm going to use hot glue today, and I'm just going to make a line down the center of the can. There we go. And I'm going to roll my paper up just a little bit here to get it in there. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little edge here. I'm going to go inside the can, and I'm going to put the edge of the paper on that bit of glue. You can use the line in the can to line it up so it's nice and straight if you like. There we go. So you can see there, I've just got it down the line, and my paper's kind of twirled in here. So I'm just going to go around the top and bottom with some glue, both sides here. And I'm going to slowly just press them down. I'm just going to do little bits at a time so we don't get, sometimes the paper will go further than you want it to, and it'll get stuck, and then you'll have a big gap. So we're going to just try not to have a gap. Okay, and a little bit more glue, a little bit more glue, and down. Go. And I'm just coming to my final little part here, down. There we go. And I'm going to, now you may have some little gaps. You can see I have a little gap here. I'm just going to add a little bit more glue there, just to push that down. Like I I said, sometimes it just skips a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to use this as a tier to store vinyl or paper or even some paintbrushes, whatever my friend wants to do with that. So we've got the nice paint on the outside, the paper on the inside, and I'm just going to use a little bit of ribbon just to tidy it up a bit. So let's start on the inside, just a little bit of ribbon, as you can see here, and I'm going to go around this ribbon is light blue. I have some green. I kind of ran out because I have done a bunch of these, and we're going to stack them up. They'll look nice and be functional. So I always love that the things I use look great and organized. So there we go. We've gone all the way around the inside of that. I'm going to cut that off. Make sure the end of the ribbon is just a little bit of extra glue there, glued down. Okay, I have lots of glue on my fingers. And we're going to do the same thing with the ribbon around the outside edge, which is obviously a little bit easier to manage. So just around the outside edge here. Remember, when you are using tools like your glue gun, that it is very hot. You can burn yourself. If you're doing this, kids, for your room, for some of your craft supplies, for some of your hair doodles, whatever you've got going on, just be careful that the glue that comes out, the silver part on the glue gun and the glue that comes out is very hot. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to give this a trim. Just like that. Okay, so in this row that I'm going to put together, I put 3 together. So you can see, and I have a different pattern paper on this one from this one. So I got 2 of the same, so I'm going to put the different one in the middle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them flat like this. As you can see, lay them flat. And I'm going to use some popsicle sticks. These ones are a little bit bigger, and I'm going to glue them on to just adhere these together. You could glue the side of the cans, but you can see there's a gap there, so I wasn't really trusting that so much. So I'm going to get some more up here, and I'm going to 1, 2, line these up properly, and just lay that on top. Okay, now I'm going to add this one. And line it up. Just putting some glue and just putting those like that. And we are going to stick this to another row of these. We'll see how it all turns out. Okay, there we go. That'll need a minute to set, but as you can see, I've used some larger cans and some smaller cans, and I've already stuck them together. So this set is going to go on top like this. Okay, make sure that your ribbon ends are all on the same end, and I'm going to glue underneath the popsicle sticks. So I've got some there, and there, over here, right there. Okay, so we're going to glue those down just to help hold them on. Like I said, you can go tin to tin. I need to do that a bit here, a little bit more glue there. Just to get fantastic to, if you have rolls of vinyl, to store them inside like this. Like I said, you could throw some paintbrushes in here. Any of your supplies would be fantastic. Put this up against the wall, and then it's got a backing. You could put a backing on it, but there we go. And I thought I would just pretty this up just a little bit. There we go. I thought I would pretty it up with just a little floral piece. So I'm going to, got a little bit of a gap there. So I'm just going to glue that down right there. Just to give it a little bit more color and fun. So there you have it. A little organization on top. Now to go with this, I'm just going to glue a couple of that together. That one just lifted a bit. Okay, so to go with this, I thought I would also make a paper organizer. So this is from your, when you dig really deep into the recycle bin, that's where you'll find the juice box. They're not normally up on top, they are down below. We're going to cut this up a little bit. You can see where the nozzle of the juice came out. We're going to cut that off. I'm just going to get my cutting pad here so we don't cut through to the table. I also like to use a ruler when I'm cutting, just to keep things a little bit more stable, because my knife likes to go all over. Remember, if you're doing this, kids, to be very careful using a knife. Okay, so we're just going to cut on one side open just like that. Now, you can see where the juice came out right here. I'm actually going to cut along that line, so it's got a little bit of a front to it. You can see right here, just a little bit of a front, so when your papers or files go in, they don't come flying out. So we're going to go across that part like this, and there. Cut that flap off as well. Put it down on my table. Use my ruler. Cut down. To go right through. I think my X-Acto knives are getting a little dull. I quite often see them outside my craft room and in places where my husband's working. I tried to get pink ones so I would know they're mine. And yes, he's taking quite a few. So we're also going to cut these top tabs off as well. So we're going to go in there and use our knife. Another tab off. Go to the other side. Cut with your knife. Now we've just got this one left. We're going to take that one off as well. Okay. Now you can either Mod Podge some pretty paper on this using napkin paper. Wrapping paper is also really nice for this. I'm actually going to use sticky shelf paper. I found this one at the Dollar Tree. I think it's very pretty. And simple, so we're going to use that. Now when I peel this off and go to put it on, you're going to see the writing from Juice Box on it. So we're going to give it a quick paint with some light colored paint. I'm definitely getting low on my white paint, so I'm just going to use this cream colored paint and give it a good coat on top. Now, if you're using a darker colored paper, you would not have to do this, but mine is white with black, so we definitely would see all these words through. I don't have to go over that white part though. just where it's a little bit darker. Strand there, so there we go. Don't need to do the bottom. So if we're going this way, that's one side. And I'm going to do this part as well while we're here. I'm getting low on my paints, and they're a little bit hard to come by right now. I think everybody's at home crafting. So once again, to make this process go a little bit quicker, I'm going to use my heat gun. You can also use your hairdryer, like I've said, or take a nice little break from what you're doing. So just going to dry this off. Got a few little thick spots there that I didn't need, so I'm just brushing those down a bit. You don't want to get too close when you make the paint bubble up. And also, it's just a cardboard box. You don't want to get it too hot and burn or anything. And I'm going to dry this side as well. And the reason I'm using my heat gun, not just to go through the process quicker, but I do need a second coat. And you guys have things to do. You don't need to sit here and watch me watch paint dry. So here we go. And it certainly doesn't need to be perfect painting for this. Mine is definitely smudgy and all over. I just want to be able to cover those dark parts. So we're going to cover more of this red and the black and where the writing is. There we go. And it's always good to use things that you would have normally thrown away. You know, take one for a team and have a big use box, friends. Only because you need to make a plaque from it. It's the only reason. Dark and the letters. You don't need to use paint over the white part. You can if you like, but you certainly don't need to. It's already light colored. There we go. Some other organizational tips is to, with your scrapbook paper, to organize them by color. I organize mine. For example, I would say solid red and red pattern. So if I'm looking for solid red, I can just go there, or the pattern, and it makes it a lot easier to find what you're looking for. You can still mix and match. I also have one that just says pastel and one that says bold, so that those ones that don't really fit in a color category have a place as well. And then with my scraps, I will file them in file folders, and then if I just need a scrap piece, I can go get that. So we're going to dry this off now. more here. It's hard not to just put super thick coats on and then try to dry it, but that's not great because it will lift off. Some of mine has lifted there. Not really tragic when you're covering it, but if that's if you're just painting and not covering it, you do want to keep your coats quite thin. And I'm at the end of my paint there. So there we go. Now I'll just dry that a little bit. And then we can get on with covering it. Like I said, you can cover it with napkin. Remember that if it is a 2-ply or 3-ply napkin, you need to take those back plies off first and just do the color. Napkins are quite sheer. You can also use some scrapbook paper, wrapping paper, the sticky shelf paper. You can even do a coloring of your own, like a coloring book page. If it's for the young kids, do a coloring page and stick it on. Mod Podge it on. Okay, so there we go. We're good. We've got our juice box that no longer looks like a juice box. Okay, so now I'm going to take my design shelf paper, and I find the easiest way to do it is to fold an end back, not perfectly straight, doesn't matter. Fold the end back and then peel the backing off of it. So, like this. And then just start the peel just a little bit. Just like that. Okay, and then I can just fold that back. So then I'm not dealing with a whole sticky sheet, I'm just dealing with a little bit. So I'm going to lay this down. And I'm going to put a little bit over the edge, like this, and line up the bottom. Stick that bottom on. And the top, I've got a little bit going over the edge so we can flip it over. But the bottom, I'm just going to line up with the bottom. We're not going to see it. So I'm going to press that down. And then what I can do is I can go underneath like this and grab the backing and just slowly pull a little bit at a time and rub it down. You should be able to just rub this down with your hand. You can also use a straight edge, like a credit card, something like that. I think I have gone over a little bit, that's okay. Now I'm flipping over to the side, and I'm going to continue pulling that paper from the back. So much easier than trying to deal with a whole sticky sheet. On my edges, I'm just going to run my finger down it, make sure it's on there nice and smooth. And then I'm going to continue some more. I got a little bubble there, so I'm going to just backtrack it a bit. And obviously that paint wasn't completely dry. So backtrack a bit, smooth it down with my hand, not a big deal. Bubbles we can also try to get out with your straight edge. And I'm just going to keep going until that's off. Okay, so I do have a few bubbles there. I'm just going to pull them out. There we go. And I've got a bit of an edge. Now I have some extra here, a little bit too much, so I'm going to just cut a little bit off. Like that. And I'm going to use some for this front piece, which I did not paint. You can. I just doing this quickly to show you. And I'm just going to stick this on underneath there. Now when you're at the edges, give a little snip. And then you can fold down, and then you can fold from the side. Okay? So here at the front, I need to give a little snip there. And then I'm going to fold over the edge. Now, sometimes the edge doesn't want to stay down. You can use a little bit of a glue stick to go over it, a little bit of a glue gun, or you can add some fancy tape. There's so many nice things out right now that are functional and look great, like the fancy duct tapes and string tapes. So there we go, there's that part. I'm going to cut this piece off, it's a little bit of extra. There we go. And so now I just have the top little bit to go over. So I'm going to cut down at the corners like this and fold down and fold down. Okay, there we go. Now you can use some really nice ribbon or anything just to fancy it up. This is just black and white. So on this one I use some cute pink ribbon. So we've kind of got a nice little set here. I could do the same on this one, or I can do a little bit different. I was thinking I would use some twine to go around. So I'm going to get my glue gun, and I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue on the inside like this, and put my string on it. Now, I'm going to go around. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at this corner and pull and stick. Okay, my backside's still drying here. There we go, as I put in my finger a few times. We can also tape that down too if we like. Need a bit more glue though. And then we can go to this corner and put a little dab of glue and go around like that. And right here. And take it off, and we're going to glue it on the inside. So the end. You don't see it. Like that. You can also use a popsicle stick to hold something small like the twine on top of the hot glue. Sometimes it's hard to press it in without getting it on your fingers. So the popsicle sticks are also great for that, or the end of a paintbrush. I'm running out of more glue again. There we go. And this will be really cute. With just a little flower on it. So I'm going to, so that some people hold their things from, they show them from the back. Some people just shelf them like this so they can quickly get their papers. So I thought I would just put a little flower on the side. Just pulling a little sprig off of this one. And putting some glue on the back of the flower. And sticking it on. So there we go. So just to add a little bit of color and flair. We can go around a few more times with the yarn if we want. I just wanted to show you that as an example. One more thing I wanted to do was a cute little tin. This is a pens and pencil tin that we just did. So the same tins from cooking, just don't take the bottom off. Throw some paint on them. And this we can do the yarn. So I'm just going to use my glue gun like this. I'm going to put the yarn on, leave a little bit of an end, like so, and I'm going to wrap it around. And the end can just be there. I'm going to actually go over a few times. Oops. There we go. And I'm back to where I started, and I'm going to cut a little piece off, and then I'm just going to tie a knot with the beginning part. So you can label your cans, you can make your own little labels. You can, I know there's lots of little chalk labels out there you can use your vinyl, make your own vinyl letters, sticker letters also work. I found these at a dollar store. They're absolutely fantastic. They already have the items on them. So I'm going to put this one for her for glue sticks. So I'm just going to stick this on like this, and this will be one for her glue sticks. But you can make your own labels or find them at dollar store. Like I said, just even some letter stickers. If you feel like it's going to pull off a little bit, just throw some Mod Podge on top. So this is just plain and simple. I'm going to throw a little flour on it. Like I said, I have a sprig of flowers. I'm just going to pull that off and use a little bit of glue on the back side and glue it probably near my knot, just like that. There we go. So some cute little organization pots. We've got our big holder like this, and we've got our file boxes. So just some organizational things for you to try with items around your home. Send me a message of what you've made. I love seeing everything, and I certainly love getting organized and organizational ideas. So share with everybody, and share with me what you've got doing. Have fun in your craft room. Take care.